Tonight, we expose the Lazarus Group, the only government on Earth to become the world's most successful bank robber. Driven by the desperate imperative of financial survival, they steal hundreds of millions of dollars to fund their nuclear programs with complete impunity. The Lazarus constellation, hacking for survival. In the heart of a secluded nation, often veiled in darkness and silence, the global stream of data is viewed not as a utility, but as a lifeline. For this nation, under perpetual scrutiny and isolation, the whispers of the digital world are the only connection to the light of the international economy. They are known to the world of cybersecurity as the Lazarus Group, and their motives are driven not by geopolitical conquest, but by the raw, desperate imperative of financial survival. This unique threat actor is directly sponsored by the North Korean government, rooted deeply within an intelligence apparatus known as the Reconnaissance General Bureau. Inside this bureau operates a specialized unit, the famous Bureau 121, where the nation's digital soldiers are carefully selected and trained. They are recruited young, often drawn from institutions like the School of Automation, where the nation's brightest minds are instructed in the meticulous arts of programming, operating systems, networking, and ultimately, the subtle yet destructive craft of digital infiltration. This selection process is critical. Students are identified at an early age for their exceptional mathematical and logical capabilities, often long before their mandatory military service begins. They are then placed on a rigorous, specialized track designed to cultivate their skills exclusively for state-sponsored cyber operations. These individuals represent a highly prized national asset, sequestered from the general population and indoctrinated with a singular focus on achieving national financial goals through digital means. The state views this specialized pool of talent as an elite economic warfare unit, indispensable to maintaining liquidity under conditions of extreme economic pressure. The training is so thorough that these operatives gain an intimate, often superior, understanding of international financial security protocols compared to many of the institutions they target. They are taught to exploit the human element of security with great precision, turning simple social engineering into high-value intelligence gathering. They are not only programmers, but masters of deception, often utilizing elaborate fictitious online personas to establish initial contact with targets in banking and cryptocurrency sectors. The curriculum includes advanced lessons in OPSEC, operational security, ensuring that their online activities cannot be easily traced back to their remote command centers. The state carefully manages the personal lives of these operatives, ensuring their loyalty and commitment to the national mission are absolute, viewing them as long-term instruments of economic policy. The training within Bureau 121 is intense, often involving years of work in foreign countries, a practice known as forward deployment. By operating overseas, these hackers gain valuable experience in navigating global networks, bypassing international monitoring and blending into foreign digital environments, further obscuring the ultimate origin of their attacks. This forward deployment also grants them consistent access to the global internet, a resource often severely restricted within their homeland. This operational strategy is essential to their success, turning the isolation of their own country into a logistical advantage for external operations. The curriculum focuses heavily on exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities, creating custom malware, and mastering social engineering techniques, effectively transforming top-tier academic potential into sophisticated, financially motivated espionage. They are trained in specific programming languages such as C++ and Python, favored for their flexibility in developing covert digital tools, and they master the art of cryptocurrency tracing to perfect the laundering process after a successful heist. This investment in continuous technical education ensures their methods remain perpetually ahead of global defenses. The forward bases are frequently rotated and maintained under strict communication blackouts, ensuring that even if one cell is compromised, the broader network remains secure and operational. Operatives receive specialized instruction on how to handle illicit substances in a manner that avoids detection by foreign law enforcement, focusing strictly on chemical handling procedures and transportation logistics related to their criminal network operations. What makes this constellation of hackers uniquely dangerous is their government-sanctioned willingness to commit overt criminal acts. Most advanced persistent threats, or APT groups, primarily focus on intelligence gathering, quietly stealing secrets to gain a diplomatic or military edge. The Lazarus Group, however, operates in a murky space where cybercrime, hacktivism, and traditional espionage blur into a singular mission: to generate hard currency for the isolated state. Their campaign is not a temporary endeavor. According to detailed investigations, North Korean hackers have been actively, relentlessly attacking countries and businesses for well over a decade, their focus steadily shifting from disruptive protest to cold, calculated financial plunder. This financial mandate sets them apart from nearly every other state actor. While other governments might engage in economic espionage to steal trade secrets, the Lazarus Group engages in direct, large-scale theft of funds, treating global finance as a resource to be harvested directly. Their actions create a massive financial displacement in the global economy, directly affecting individuals and institutions far removed from the political conflict. The risk assessment matrix for the state weighs the potential for international condemnation far lower than the critical need for foreign capital. This shift became pronounced following the imposition of increasingly severe international sanctions against their nation's missile and nuclear programs. These sanctions, designed to restrict the flow of conventional currency and materials, ironically pushed the regime entirely into the digital domain. With traditional avenues of international trade and banking severely restricted, the digital realm offered an unpatrolled, anonymous pathway to wealth. Their operations are executed with a meticulous, long-term approach, often involving embedding malware in systems for months or even years before an attack is launched, patiently mapping out financial pathways and internal security mechanisms. They specifically study supply chain weaknesses in international banks and cryptocurrency platforms to identify the most vulnerable points of entry for high-value transactions. This patient reconnaissance allows them to understand the human workflow of target institutions, predicting when the highest value transactions occur and which employees hold the key permissions. This deep operational knowledge is considered their most potent weapon. They utilize sophisticated financial modeling to estimate the optimal time for a heist, minimizing the window between transfer authorization and detection by fraud monitoring systems. Imagine a shadowy organization functioning as a state-run enterprise, where the primary export is not goods or services, but theft. This is the paradoxical reality of the Lazarus Group. Their cybercrime operations are executed purely for monetary gain, providing the necessary funds to bypass debilitating international sanctions that have sought to starve the nation's nuclear and missile programs. They treat the global financial system as an enormous, tempting vault, and they possess the patience and resources of a state to pick the digital lock. This dedication ensures a continuous revenue stream, critical for sustaining state projects. The funds derived from these heists are systematically laundered through complex international networks, often utilizing intermediaries and shell companies established across multiple jurisdictions, making the trail nearly impossible to follow. The stolen digital currency and traditional money are converted into tangible assets and commodities, ensuring their value can be leveraged within the isolated economy. The laundering phase itself is often as complex as the initial hack, employing cryptocurrency mixers and multiple layering transactions across various countries to obscure the source of the illicit funds before they are converted into stable currencies like the US dollar or the euro. The entire process from digital theft to physical importation of goods is managed by state logistics, ensuring maximum efficiency. In 2016, this financial focus was brutally demonstrated in one of the most audacious bank robberies in history. The target was the Central Bank of Bangladesh, and the operation was conducted with a chilling blend of planning and audacity. The initial goal was staggering: to steal $1 billion from the bank's account held at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. This was not a quick smash and grab. It was a deep, sustained campaign of reconnaissance. The hackers gained access to the bank's systems, patiently observing the complex, highly sensitive protocols for international fund transfers. They spent weeks or months mapping the internal SWIFT messaging system, the global network used to send secure financial transaction instructions. Their infiltration was so deep that they were able to steal digital certificates and credentials required to authorize such high-value transfers, effectively becoming digital insiders. They even customized their malware to target and disable the bank's printing systems, ensuring that no physical copies of the fraudulent transaction confirmations could be produced, thus delaying detection for crucial hours. The patience displayed during this phase was meticulous, as they had to navigate the strict security policies of the bank's internal network. The attack utilized custom-designed malware that was specifically engineered to compromise the bank's operating environment, allowing the hackers to steal the necessary digital credentials for the high-value transfers. This malware, designed for stealth and persistence, enabled the attackers to remain within the network long enough to understand the operational flow of the bank's transactions. The malicious code was also programmed to delete or alter digital records of the fraudulent transactions, slowing down the bank's detection capabilities. The malware included a sophisticated keylogger to capture passwords and a rootkit to hide its presence from conventional security tools, highlighting the specialized nature of the attack toolset. This malware was later analyzed and found to contain unique digital signatures, allowing security firms to link it to previous attacks. When they finally struck, the attack was a masterpiece of digital misdirection. Using stolen credentials, they initiated 35 fraudulent transfer requests. 30 of these requests were flagged and ultimately stopped, often due to clerical errors that were, ironically, caused by the hackers' own haste. A typographical error in one transfer request, mistaking the word foundation for fandation, ultimately triggered an alert at the intermediary bank, slowing the process enough for security teams to intervene. This small linguistic mistake averted a truly colossal loss. Yet, before the full scale of the theft was realized, 4 of the requests went through, successfully transferring approximately $81 million. The funds were transferred to accounts in the Philippines and subsequently diverted through casinos to mask the financial trail. The remaining 31 transactions, totaling approximately $850 million, were halted, narrowly averting a catastrophic global financial loss. While they failed to secure the full billion-dollar prize, the successful theft of $81 million still stands today as the largest bank robbery in world history. A monumental score achieved not with masks and guns, but with keystrokes and sophisticated code. This operation, despite the partial failure, cemented the Lazarus Group's reputation for audacious, high-reward targeting of the global financial core. The initial success demonstrated a chilling ability to manipulate the global financial communication standard. The financial hunger of this group did not abate. As the world of currency evolved, so too did the methods of the Lazarus Group. They followed the money into the volatile, decentralized world of cryptocurrency, where massive sums could be moved quickly and anonymously. This new digital frontier offered reduced regulatory oversight and significantly increased difficulty in tracing transactions, making it an ideal hunting ground for state-sponsored theft. They began systematically targeting exchanges and individual wallets, refining their techniques to exploit the fundamental trust mechanisms inherent in decentralized finance. Their methods included sophisticated spear phishing campaigns, targeting employees of crypto exchanges, and using tailored malware to compromise system administrators. They also utilized typo-squatting attacks, creating fake websites of legitimate wallets or exchanges to trick users into inputting their private keys. In 2018, they executed another record-breaking heist against a major Japanese cryptocurrency exchange known as CoinCheck. In this operation, they managed to steal $534 million worth of cryptocurrency. The hackers exploited a vulnerability in the way CoinCheck managed its NEM tokens, gaining access to the hot wallet where the tokens were stored. The security flaw involved the exchange storing the assets on a single online hot wallet, which proved susceptible to the sophisticated network intrusion. This single act of theft eclipsed their previous banking record by a factor of nearly 6, cementing their reputation as the most prolific financial criminals operating at the state level. The anonymous, borderless nature of cryptocurrency was, for them, a perfect, frictionless conduit for funneling stolen wealth back to their homeland. The stolen tokens were then meticulously laundered, through various mixing services and decentralized protocols, slowly converting the cryptocurrency into spendable funds for the regime. This demonstrated a critical shift in their operational focus from traditional bank systems, which eventually implemented stronger security measures, to the newer, less regulated world of digital assets. The sheer volume of this theft created measurable fluctuations in the global cryptocurrency market. But the pursuit of wealth was sometimes interspersed with acts of digital vandalism and political protest. In 2017, the Lazarus Group was strongly linked to the launch of the WannaCry ransomware campaign, a global epidemic that swept across the world, infecting hundreds of thousands of computers in over 150 countries. WannaCry exploited a vulnerability known as Eternal Blue, which was leaked from the US National Security Agency. WannaCry crippled critical infrastructure, notably shutting down hospitals in the United Kingdom and disrupting massive companies worldwide. This indiscriminate spread was highly unusual for a state actor, suggesting a secondary motive of global disruption alongside the financial demand. While presented as a ransomware attack demanding payment, the scale and seemingly indiscriminate nature of its deployment suggested a motive beyond mere profit, though the funds generated still supported the North Korean regime. The attack showcased their ability to rapidly weaponize leaked tools and deploy them globally, demonstrating a dangerous capability for widespread, non-targeted digital damage. The impact of WannaCry was not just financial, it was a profound societal disruption, affecting everything from public health services to global manufacturing operations. Furthermore, the group has repeatedly shown its willingness to hack simply to silence those who speak out against the regime. Their most famous act of digital retribution occurred in 2014, targeting Sony Pictures Entertainment. The motive for this elaborate, destructive breach was surprisingly petty. North Korea did not approve of an upcoming comedy film which featured a plot to bring about the physical cessation of the country's leader. The hackers executed a massive network intrusion, wiping computers, stealing vast amounts of sensitive corporate data, and releasing unreleased movies, internal emails, and employee information onto the internet. The damage was estimated to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars, causing immense operational disruption. It was a clear, chilling message. Their hacking capabilities could be weaponized not just for cash, but to enforce their will and silence critics on the global stage. This act of hacktivism served as a political statement, demonstrating the regime's long arm could reach and enforce ideological compliance across international media corporations. The operations of the Lazarus Group underscore a profound, uncomfortable truth in the world of advanced, persistent threats. North Korea appears to be the only nation-state actively, systematically using its cyber capabilities for the primary purpose of financial gain. While other nations may occasionally steal to fund an operation, the very structure and mandate of Bureau 121 seems dedicated to the mass transfer of wealth from the digital world to the physical coffers of the state. It is a desperate measure born of profound isolation, yet executed with an alarming degree of sophistication and success. Their continuous financial mandate ensures they remain a persistent, evolving, and uniquely motivated threat. forcing cybersecurity experts to constantly track the flow of illicit funds rather than just traditional espionage indicators. The economic survival of the state is literally dependent on the continued success of these digital raids. As the money flows and the digital architects continue their unseen work, this constellation remains one of the most unpredictable and unsettling forces in the global cybersecurity landscape. They are a constant reminder that in the shadow economy of the digital age, a state can survive and even thrive by becoming the world's most successful, untouchable bank robber. The profits from these silent heists fuel programs that concern the entire world, ensuring that the work of these youthful coders, hidden away in a secretive bureau, maintains a ripple effect that touches every corner of the globe. The global financial system must constantly adapt to counter this unique threat model, diverting significant resources to combat what is essentially state-sponsored, organized crime. And as the digital currents churn, the question lingers, with a successful transfer of $500 million now established as an achievable goal. What vast new targets are currently under the silent observation of the Lazarus constellation? The Desert Sentinel, Iran's digital awakening, a soft reflection on a specific event, an invisible scar that tore through the digital heart of a powerful nation, leaving behind a deep, lasting resolve. The attack known as Stuxnet was the catalyst, a sudden, cold intrusion that left Iran determined to master the very shadows that had once pierced its infrastructure, ushering in an era of digital awakening. The nation's response to this foreign digital sabotage was swift and comprehensive, a deep commitment to developing its own sophisticated cyber capabilities. This work is primarily carried out through the intelligence unit embedded within the military, known as the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC. This organization is believed to be the central hub from which the government orchestrates its most sensitive and strategic digital operations. The IRGC's cyber division is highly organized, structured similarly to traditional military units, but specialized in electronic reconnaissance, attack, and defense. Following the Stuxnet incident, the organization received significant funding and mandate expansion, elevating its cyber capabilities to a primary defense and offense platform. The primary focus of the IRGC's digital forces is to protect national security interests, which includes critical infrastructure and sensitive government data, as well as projecting power against perceived regional and international adversaries. The development of these capabilities is seen as a crucial component of asymmetrical warfare, allowing Iran to challenge more conventionally powerful opponents in the digital domain. The IRGC Cyber Command actively recruits top engineering and computer science graduates, offering them prestigious roles focused on national digital defense and strategic offense. However, like many governments seeking plausible deniability, Iran often employs other groups that act on its behalf. One such entity is frequently discussed, the Iranian Cyber Army. The true formal connection between this group and the IRGC remains obscured by layers of secrecy, yet many reports suggest a close working relationship. It is believed that the Iranian Cyber Army often receives direct orders or guidance from the IRGC, functioning as a non-official proxy. This structure is strategically intelligent, creating an essential distance that allows the Iranian government to confidently deny any involvement in certain cyber attacks, keeping their hands clean while their digital surrogates execute their strategic will. These proxy groups allow the state to test boundaries, retaliate quickly, and engage in high-risk operations without incurring direct diplomatic or military consequence. They operate in a flexible, often unpredictable manner, making attribution difficult for foreign intelligence agencies and cybersecurity researchers. This plausible deniability is a cornerstone of their digital strategy, allowing aggressive operations to be dismissed as the work of independent, patriotic actors. These groups often recruit through patriotic appeals online, creating a large, decentralized pool of talent responsive to state directives, and focusing on lower-profile, high-volume distributed denial of service or website defacement attacks. Ever since the internal political turmoil of the Green Movement, which was quickly followed by the Stuxnet attack against the Natanz nuclear enrichment facility, Iran has been building its offensive cyber capabilities at an alarming and accelerating rate. Stuxnet, in particular, was perceived not just as an attack on a nuclear program, but as an act of physical, territorial intrusion conducted entirely through the digital realm. The malware's ability to cross the air gap and cause physical machinery to malfunction was a profound realization of the vulnerability of even the most secure physical assets. This realization sparked a profound shift in military and intelligence doctrine, transforming their cyber groups from defensive units into highly focused, highly sophisticated engines of digital warfare. The trauma of Stuxnet became the defining impetus for the rapid development of custom tools and the recruitment of thousands of new cyber specialists. The initial response included the establishment of a Supreme Council of Cyberspace, cementing the high-level importance of digital defense and offense, centralizing all cyber-related policies and strategic planning under a singular authority. Since that pivotal moment, Iranian hackers have carried out attacks with steadily increasing sophistication, often aimed at expressing political discontent or executing strategic acts of retaliation. In 2012, this evolution was clearly demonstrated in a series of coordinated, high-volume attacks against major United States banking websites. These were not intrusions designed to steal data, but rather distributed denial of service attacks, or DDoS attacks, intended to overwhelm and cripple the financial flow of the targeted institutions. The sustained disruption sent a clear message that Iran could and would impact the economic infrastructure of its adversaries. The attacks, which lasted for weeks, affected institutions like Bank of America and JP Chase, demonstrating the capability to inflict persistent, costly inconvenience on the financial backbone of an opposing nation. These DDoS campaigns required significant botnet resources, demonstrating organized, high-capacity command and control structures. The sheer volume of traffic generated was unprecedented for a state-affiliated actor at the time, utilizing thousands of compromised machines globally. The true destructive potential of these groups, however, became terrifyingly evident in an attack believed to be orchestrated by Iran against Saudi Aramco, the massive oil and drilling company in Saudi Arabia. This was more than a mere data breach. It was an act of digital annihilation. The attack was carried out using a specialized piece of malicious code known as Shamoon, which systematically wiped the hard drives of 30,000 computers across the company's network, rendering them all completely unusable. The Shamoon malware, specifically designed as a wiper, replaced the master boot record of the infected machines with an image of a burning American flag, leaving little doubt as to the political motivation behind the physical destruction. This one blow crippled the administrative and operational heart of one of the world's most critical energy suppliers. The sight of thousands of non-functional machines, silent and dark on the desks of the world's largest oil company, was a stark, visceral demonstration of digital power translating directly into industrial paralysis. The attack required a meticulous internal reconnaissance phase to ensure the maximum number of machines were targeted simultaneously and provided a profound demonstration of the potential for digital industrial sabotage. The motivation for their attacks can sometimes be surprisingly personal or emotionally driven, directly linked to perceived insults against the Iranian state. This was demonstrated when Iranian hackers targeted the Sands Hotel in Las Vegas. The hotel's chief executive officer, or CEO, had made several strongly worded public comments that were widely perceived as insulting to Iran. The digital response was swift and total. The Sands Hotel's internal networks were breached, data was destroyed, and the public-facing systems were defaced. The attackers, demonstrating their access to highly sensitive information, posted internal corporate documents and threatened to disclose personal information of executives. This attack served as a clear warning. Criticism of Iran, even from powerful private figures, would be met with swift and disproportionate digital retaliation. This demonstrated a willingness to engage in digital shaming and exposure as a form of non-military retribution, often referred to as hack and leak operations. More recently, the scale and scope of Iranian state-affiliated hacking activity have expanded to include global targets across numerous sectors. The United States Department of Justice, in a coordinated effort, indicted 9 Iranian hackers believed to have worked for or on behalf of the Iranian government's intelligence apparatus. These individuals are alleged to have compromised an extraordinary range of institutions, highlighting a broad, aggressive campaign of intelligence gathering. The indictments detailed years of intrusion activity aimed at stealing information for strategic and economic advantage, often leveraging spear phishing campaigns and social engineering tactics to gain initial access. The methods often involved setting up impersonation domains designed to trick thousands of academics and corporate employees into giving up login credentials. The stolen data was then funneled through a sophisticated network of intermediaries and data repositories before reaching the ultimate analysts in Iran. Among the confirmed targets were the servers of the United Nations, a major diplomatic prize for any intelligence service. The hackers also relentlessly targeted the academic world, successfully breaching the security of 176 different universities spanning 21 countries. The victims included prestigious institutions in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, focusing on research in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The sheer volume of this academic espionage suggests a massive, systematic attempt to steal research, intellectual property, and cutting-edge technological innovations from global educational institutions. This theft of academic research is a key component of Iran's strategy to circumvent technology export restrictions and rapidly advance its domestic scientific capabilities. The scope of the attacks went far beyond government and academia, striking deeply into the private sector. Dozens of foreign and United States-based companies were victimized, including vital parts of critical infrastructure. Healthcare companies, already managing the sensitive data of millions of patients, were compromised, seeking proprietary research or patient data. Prominent law firms, holding the most confidential documents of their clients, were breached, searching for sensitive litigation strategies or merger details. And finally, powerful banking institutions were targeted, not just for financial disruption, but for the valuable, proprietary intelligence held within their systems regarding economic forecasting and international trade. The attacks were often launched simultaneously across different sectors, suggesting a highly coordinated strategy aimed at gathering a comprehensive picture of Western economic and strategic vulnerabilities. The actions of these indicted hackers reveal a centralized, methodical approach to cyber intelligence collection, likely coordinated under the distant, watchful eyes of the IRGC. The modus operandi often involved creating fake online identities and setting up malicious domains that mimicked legitimate university portals or corporate login pages. The goal is to maximize strategic advantage by collecting confidential blueprints, trade secrets, research papers, and political data from any sector that provides an edge. The focus on stealing research papers and technological data directly supports Iran's ambitious domestic development goals, effectively using cyber espionage as a substitute for legitimate access to global innovation. Iran's journey from being the victim of the world's most sophisticated digital attack to becoming a powerful, recognized force in the cyber domain is a chilling narrative of adaptation and revenge. They have learned not only how to defend their borders, but how to project digital power globally, using the plausible deniability of proxy groups and the cold logic of retaliation to assert their strength. The attacks against banks, oil companies, and international institutions demonstrate a willingness to use digital means for profound, real-world, physical, and economic destruction. The scars of Stuxnet have been absorbed, transforming a moment of weakness into a commitment to digital mastery, creating a formidable force that continues to grow stronger and more disruptive with every passing year. The development of sophisticated tools like the Shamoon Wiper demonstrates a clear offensive capability for mass data removal and system cessation. With their digital army fully awakened, the Iranian cyber corps remains a formidable presence, constantly testing the boundaries of what is considered an act of war in the 21st century, ensuring that the shadows of Stuxnet never end the vital operation over their nation again without a swift, commensurate response. The Deep Sea Watchers, GCHQ, and the Undercurrent, a gaze beneath the deep, cold expanse of the ocean, reveals a silent, powerful reality. The vast, invisible river of the world's data flows through a delicate web of undersea cables. Here, where the currents move slowly and the light never reaches, One specialized organization, the Government Communications Headquarters, or GCHQ, quietly listens to the secrets carried in the undercurrent. GCHQ is one of the United Kingdom's primary intelligence agencies, alongside MI5 and MI6. While each of these agencies likely possesses its own advanced cyber capabilities, GCHQ is renowned for its specific focus on signals intelligence and cryptanalysis. This is the organization, steeped in history and technical brilliance, that was responsible for the crucial work of cracking the Enigma code during the Second World War. This historical role established a deep institutional knowledge in the areas of code creation and code breaking that continues to inform their modern digital operations. Since that monumental achievement, the agency has maintained a continuous, highly funded tradition of both making complex codes and, more importantly, breaking them. Their expertise in cryptanalysis is considered among the best in the world, allowing them to process and decipher vast quantities of encrypted foreign communication. They house some of the world's most advanced supercomputers, dedicated solely to the task of testing and defeating modern encryption standards, often through brute force methods and algorithmic analysis. Their core mission is to gain vital intelligence by engaging in the electronic surveillance and hacking of foreign targets. This includes monitoring diplomatic communications, tracking military movements, and gathering economic intelligence that may affect national security. Like any high-level intelligence gathering agency, the full spectrum of GCHQ's actions and capabilities remains shrouded in secrecy. Yet, through occasional leaks and careful declassification, a picture emerges of an organization with vast, almost unimaginable global reach. The agency employs thousands of specialized personnel, including mathematicians, linguists, and computer scientists, all working under deep cover to fulfill their mission of collecting signals intelligence, or SIGINT. Their operational structure is divided into both a defensive arm, focused on protecting UK networks, and a much larger offensive arm, dedicated to foreign espionage. The agency's budget reflects a continuous commitment to staying ahead in the technological race, investing heavily in fiber optic monitoring and satellite interception technologies. The agency's capabilities are partly rooted in physical infrastructure, specifically a location that is often unseen but critically important: the satellite ground station at View in Cornwall. This facility, with its array of dishes and receivers, acts as a primary interception point. It is here that communications flowing through global satellite systems and, crucially, through the fiber optic undersea cables that terminate on the British coastline, are captured. View acts as a vast digital vacuum, pulling in signals from across the globe due to the United Kingdom's strategic position on major international data routes. The physical infrastructure includes specialized interception taps that allow the seamless and silent copying of data flowing through the high-capacity cables, a process sometimes referred to as bulk data collection. These undersea cables represent the true circulatory system of the Internet. They are high-capacity fiber optic conduits that span continents, lying on the ocean floor. Without them, the high-speed global connectivity we rely on would cease to exist. Because the United Kingdom is a major hub for this infrastructure, the nation possesses a unique geographical advantage. allowing it to observe an immense volume of digital traffic as it enters and leaves Europe. This advantageous positioning is key to GCHQ's collection abilities, often referred to as choke point control, as the data must physically pass through the UK's jurisdiction. This advantage was dramatically exposed by the documents leaked by Edward Snowden, which revealed a highly classified GCHQ project known as Tempora. This project details the agency's capability to tap directly into the data flowing through these massive undersea cables. Tempora operates on a breathtaking scale. By intercepting 200 different internet connections, the system is reported to have the capability to store this torrent of communication for up to 3 days and retain the accompanying metadata for up to 30 days. This massive temporary data buffer allows for detailed retrospective analysis of communications, giving analysts the ability to go back in time and reconstruct past digital activity relevant to current threats. The system requires immense storage capacity, demanding specialized data centers that can handle petabytes of rolling information. Some reports estimate that the total volume of internet traffic flowing through the cable infrastructure accessible by view, and therefore by GCHQ, could account for as much as 25% of the entire world's internet data. To understand the sheer magnitude of this collection, imagine a library so vast it holds 1/4 of every single phone call, email, and website visit made across the globe. This data is filtered and analyzed using complex algorithms and artificial intelligence to identify key targets, keywords, and patterns of interest, enabling analysts to find the needle in the digital haystack. While a large portion of this intercepted traffic is often encrypted, protecting the content itself, the sheer volume of metadata captured is still invaluable. Metadata is the context that surrounds a communication. Details such as the origin, the destination, the time, and the volume of the traffic. For an agency dedicated to pattern recognition and cryptanalysis, this information alone is a powerful map of global relationships and intentions. By analyzing metadata, GCHQ can map social networks, track movements, and identify communication hubs without necessarily reading the content of every message, a process known as traffic analysis. But GCHQ's historical prowess lies in its ability to solve the seemingly unsolvable. This is the organization that defeated Enigma, a challenge of a complexity that seemed mathematically insurmountable at the time. With their wealth of resources, technical heritage, and the commitment of brilliant minds, it is a certainty that they allocate significant effort to cracking modern encryption methods, even protocols like HTTPS, which are designed to keep the vast majority of the internet safe and private. Their work in advanced mathematics and quantum computing is constantly pushing the boundaries of what is considered securely encrypted. They engage in continuous, dedicated research to identify and exploit weaknesses in major commercial encryption standards. Furthermore, GCHQ has been known to leverage its unique position by working closely with telecoms companies, the very providers that manage the flow of digital traffic. This collaboration allows the agency to gain unparalleled access, enabling them to peek inside some of the private communications flowing across major networks. These partnerships, often legally mandated or agreed upon under secrecy, provide GCHQ, with critical points of access within private sector infrastructure, facilitating the installation of intercept equipment. This cooperation is governed by strict legal frameworks, but the access granted is technically comprehensive. Beyond passive listening, GCHQ has also executed targeted, offensive cyber operations. The Snowden documents, for instance, exposed the agency's involvement in a massive, multi-year, highly sophisticated hack against Belgacom, one of the largest telecom providers in Belgium. The operation, codenamed Operation Socialist, involved the deep infiltration of Belgacom's internal systems and the injection of sophisticated surveillance malware to monitor targets. By compromising a central provider, GCHQ gained an extremely valuable persistent point of access for intelligence gathering. There have also been credible allegations that the agency has conducted unauthorized eavesdropping on a wide range of sensitive targets, including international charities, German government buildings, and even the private communications of the Israeli Prime Minister. GCHQ does not operate in a vacuum. It works in close collaboration with its most important ally, the United States' National Security Agency, or NSA, to carry out joint cyber operations. This partnership is formalized under an agreement known as the Five Eyes Alliance, which also includes the intelligence services of Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. This unique intelligence-sharing alliance was built upon the historical bond of the Second World War, and today it functions as a highly integrated mechanism for sharing both intelligence information and sophisticated cyber capabilities. This means that when GCHQ requires specialized data or operational support, the full technical and human resources of the NSA are often available, and vice versa. The alliance provides a critical framework for sharing zero-day exploits and custom-developed surveillance tools, leveraging collective capability for singular strategic goals. When a joint intelligence goal is identified, the five nations can seamlessly collaborate, pooling their immense resources to collect intelligence together on a scale that is unmatched globally. The capabilities of GCHQ, rooted in a tradition of code-breaking mastery and amplified by its geographical control over a vast digital choke point, represent one of the most powerful and far-reaching signals intelligence forces in the world. Their position, listening in on the silent, perpetual flow of the world's data, ensures that the UK remains at the very heart of global intelligence operations. The work of the Deep Sea Watchers continues day and night, charting the digital movements of billions of people. This silent stream of data, constantly observed and analyzed, provides a constant, flowing awareness of the world's secrets, ensuring that the shadows of the internet are never truly dark. The Conscripts Code, Israel's Unit, 8200. A quiet contemplation on the unique relationship between necessity and invention, where the brightest young minds are selected not for conventional warfare, but for a silent battle fought in lines of code. In this nation, the defense of the state begins not with a soldier's rifle, but with a programmer's keyboard, forging a new breed of digital conscripts. Israel, positioned in a region of constant geopolitical tension, understands that its security relies heavily on intellectual and technological superiority. This necessity drives a unique and highly effective mechanism for recruiting its most elite cyber talent, centered around the nation's mandatory military service. The intelligence unit, known as the Mossad, similar to the American Central Intelligence Agency, is well known. But it is the hacking group known as Unit 8200 that holds the key to the nation's digital strength. Unit 8200 is often likened to the United States National Security Agency, or NSA, functioning as the central signals intelligence and cryptanalysis hub for the Israeli military. Its mandate includes gathering intelligence, monitoring electronic communications, and executing sophisticated cyber operations to protect national interests. The pipeline for this elite group begins early, when every young citizen enters the military. During initial aptitude tests, Unit 8200 identifies the nation's most intelligent candidates, recruiting from the top 1% of the pool. This rigorous selection process ensures that only those with a rare cognitive gift for logic, pattern recognition, and complex technical thinking are considered. The selection process involves multiple, highly specialized exams and interviews designed to assess not just raw intelligence, but also the candidate's ability to handle complex, stressful technical assignments, often requiring them to solve intricate, real-world cyber puzzles. Once selected, these new soldiers do not spend their time in traditional boot camps. Instead, they are plunged into an intense, accelerated technical education. They are swiftly trained to code, mastering system administration work, networking protocols, and the intricate, stealthy techniques of digital infiltration. The curriculum is constantly updated to reflect the latest global cyber threats and technical innovations, ensuring that their knowledge is always cutting edge. The training is exhaustive and hyper-focused, designed to ramp up these raw recruits into highly capable hackers in a span of just a few months. This process creates an assembly line of sophisticated cyber talent, ready to be put to work immediately on projects of national security importance. The intense pressure and immediate practical application of their training is designed to foster a culture of rapid innovation and technical excellence. Graduates emerge as experts in areas like reverse engineering and malware analysis. The motivation behind this immense investment is simple yet profound. Israel sits in a geographically and politically hostile part of the world, surrounded by numerous adversaries. For them, digital conflict is not a distant, theoretical concept. It is an immediate, operational necessity. They must be capable of doing battle in the cyber domain, not merely for intelligence gathering, but for preemptive defense and strategic projection of power. The ability to disrupt enemy communications and infrastructure is considered as vital as traditional air or ground forces. This necessity drives a culture where ethical considerations are constantly balanced against the existential security needs of the state. This unit is widely believed to have played a significant role in the creation of the Stuxnet attack, an act of sophisticated digital sabotage that crippled Iran's nuclear enrichment facility. This operation, a collaboration with other intelligence services, demonstrated Unit 8200's ability to engage in joint efforts that yield real-world kinetic effects, crossing the threshold from purely digital espionage to physical intervention. The experience gained from Stuxnet further refined the unit's focus on industrial control system, or ICS, vulnerabilities. The use of Stuxnet showed the world that ISIS could be remotely and covertly manipulated, providing a new dimension to state power projection. Beyond the well-known Stuxnet incident, there have been documented reports detailing how the unit has utilized its cyber capabilities for immediate military advantage. For instance, Unit 8200 is credited with jamming the radar systems in nearby hostile countries. By successfully compromising and disabling the enemy's electronic eyes, they created windows of vulnerability, allowing Israeli jets to fly over undetected to bomb high-value targets. This capability of achieving a physical military objective through purely digital means underscores the group's strategic value and the integration of cyber operations into conventional military planning, a capability known as cyberkinetic warfare. One of the most illustrative stories of the unique technical prowess cultivated within Unit 8200 comes from Avishai Abrahami, a former member who later went on to co-found the major web development company, Wix. In an interview, Abrahami recounted being given an assignment that seemed, on its surface, utterly impossible. This assignment was a test of both technical skill and strategic foresight, a common practice within the unit to push the limits of their digital soldiers, fostering ingenious solutions. The mission was to break into the computer systems of a major hostile nation to extract a massive quantity of highly encrypted intelligence. The target was air-gapped or heavily segmented, making large-scale data transfer extremely risky. The task presented a multi-layered set of daunting challenges. First, he had to figure out how to bypass the target nation's formidable network defenses to gain initial access, likely through a patient, long-term exploitation of a supply chain or social engineering vulnerability. Second, he then faced the problem of cracking the strong encryption, protecting the stolen data, which would typically require an immense amount of computing power. Finally, the greatest challenge was the monumental scale of the data itself. How to decrypt and exfiltrate such an enormous volume without consuming massive processing resources that would instantly trigger system alarms. The solution Abrahami devised was a stunning act of digital lateral thinking. Knowing that attempting to decrypt the data directly on the target servers would consume vast processing power and instantly trigger alarms, he conceived a highly original plan. He decided to hijack the processing power of other adversaries. This concept turned his enemy's resources into his own operational assets, providing a distributed, deniable compute cluster. Once he had established a stable, stealthy beachhead inside the initial target's network, he then executed simultaneous breaches into the computers of two other hostile nations that had no direct connection to the first. He covertly rerouted the massive data streams from the first target through the compromised servers of the other two, using the hijacked computing cycles of his second and third adversaries to perform the complex, intensive decryption work. This rerouting involved highly complex tunneling and obfuscation techniques to prevent the data flow from being traced back to the original source or the final recipient, utilizing specialized proxy chains. This approach was brilliant. It masked the colossal processing load, spread the risk of detection across 3 different nations, and allowed the rapid extraction and decryption of the massive intelligence haul. It was a clear demonstration of not just technical hacking skill, but of deep strategic thinking and an ability to turn a nation's own enemies into unwitting operational partners. The success of this mission highlighted the unit's philosophy: never accept conventional limitations when a strategic advantage is at stake. The case of Unit 8200 demonstrates that the conscription of digital talent, driven by geopolitical necessity, creates a unique pool of talent unmatched elsewhere. They are trained for battle from a defensive posture, yet possess immense offensive capabilities forged by constant conflict. The specialized training and immediate application of their skills create a revolving door of highly qualified cyber experts that later go on to found successful technology companies, further driving the nation's reputation as a startup nation and maintaining a feedback loop of digital talent. The digital conscripts of Unit 8200 continue their tireless work, their success often measured in the quiet moments when a threat is neutralized before it even materializes, or when a massive intelligence haul is completed without a single alarm. This focus on digital mastery ensures that the nation's strategic edge remains sharp, constantly reshaping the quiet rules of engagement in one of the world's most tense regions. Their legacy is one of perpetual motion, and as the digital landscape evolves, so too will their silent, powerful presence, always seeking the top 1% of minds to defend the nation's future. The Dragon's Intellectual Hunger, Operation Aurora, a soft meditation on the secret language of innovation, where the most valuable treasures are no longer gold or jewels, but the blueprint for a future invention. This hunger is the driving force behind the Dragon's Intellectual Hunger, a relentless, systematic effort to gather the technological secrets that define global economic power. The Chinese hacking apparatus has long been behind some of the most visible and high-profile intrusions against Western governments and private corporations. These attacks are not random acts of mischief. They are the execution of a singular, vast national strategy with one clear objective: intellectual property theft, or IP theft. This strategy focuses on stealing the proprietary ideas, designs, and scientific breakthroughs, the secret sauce that companies use to manufacture advanced equipment and technologies. The goal is to avoid the time and cost of domestic research and development, allowing the nation to rapidly produce its own knockoff versions, thereby achieving rapid technological parity and economic independence. This national mandate for IP theft is viewed as a form of non-kinetic economic warfare, where digital infiltration replaces traditional, time-consuming research investment. The scope and scale of this theft are unmatched globally, targeting entire industrial sectors simultaneously. The scope of this hunger was starkly revealed in an attack that became infamous in the annals of cyber history, known as Operation Aurora. This was not a single, isolated breach, but a sophisticated, sustained campaign targeting a large number of high-value American corporations. The sheer breadth of the victims demonstrated the industrial scale of the intelligence operation, suggesting coordination across multiple state-affiliated entities. The initial phase of Aurora involved meticulous reconnaissance and the use of highly tailored spear phishing emails, designed to look like legitimate corporate communications. On the list of companies compromised during Operation Aurora were industry titans such as Google and Adobe, technological cornerstones of the digital age. The attackers also targeted security firms like Symantec and hardware providers such as Juniper and Akamai. Furthermore, defense and finance sectors were hit, including aerospace giant Northrop Grumman, financial powerhouse Morgan Stanley, and Dow Chemical. This selection of targets was not arbitrary. It represented a strategic cross-section of the most valuable, cutting-edge American technology and intellectual property necessary for a nation's rapid military and industrial modernization. The operation specifically sought source code, proprietary algorithms, and detailed engineering schematics, the very core of a company's competitive advantage. While the operation initially gained notoriety for targeting the Gmail accounts of Chinese dissidents, a clear act of political surveillance, it quickly expanded into a massive industrial espionage effort. The intelligence gathered from these intrusions, ranging from confidential corporate algorithms to detailed research documents, was funneled back to China's industrial and military complexes. The dual nature of the attack, political control combined with economic theft, demonstrates the comprehensive objectives of the state apparatus. This stolen data was then integrated into domestic research programs, significantly reducing the time required to bring advanced technologies to market. The ultimate goal was to make key Chinese industries self-sufficient and globally competitive. The attack utilized command and control servers based in China and leveraged known zero-day vulnerabilities in common software applications. One of the most revealing examples of the success and intent behind this campaign is seen in the development of the Comac C-919 commercial aircraft. This medium-range passenger jet was intended to compete directly with American and European aerospace giants like Boeing and Airbus. However, its development was not built solely on domestic research. It was built piece by piece on stolen designs. This strategic decision to acquire rather than invent dramatically accelerated the entire development lifecycle of the jet. Chinese hackers systematically targeted foreign companies to steal the individual components necessary to construct the sophisticated jet. They were successful in stealing the blueprints for the engine, the structural designs for the airframe, the complex logic behind the flight control systems, and the proprietary schematics for the radar and digital flight equipment. Astonishingly, they even stole the specifications for the tires. This level of detail in the theft suggests a highly coordinated intelligence requirement, where specific parts were targeted to fill gaps in domestic manufacturing capabilities, often leveraging relationships with foreign contractors of the jet manufacturers. Imagine an extremely complex, multi-billion-dollar construction project where every single part, from the smallest bolt to the most complex engine schematic, is obtained not through years of expensive, laborious research and testing, but through a coordinated series of silent digital thefts. The Comac C-919 became a powerful physical testament to the efficacy of the Dragon's intellectual hunger, a giant machine constructed from the pilfered intellectual property of its competitors. The plane's existence serves as a visible marker of the success of the state's cyber espionage program. This commitment to systematic theft stems from a number of organizations within the Chinese military. Though specific attribution is often difficult, branches of the People's Liberation Army, or PLA, are known to possess highly advanced cyber capabilities. In the past, specific units like PLA Unit 61398 and PLA Unit 61486 were publicly named and linked to numerous attacks against American corporations, specializing in areas such as military and aerospace technology theft. These units function as the formalized spearhead of the nation's cyber espionage campaigns. However, the source of these attacks is not always confined to formal military units. Some breaches have been traced back to locations surprisingly listed as schools or factories within China. This unusual attribution is often explained by the nature of the country's national cybersecurity infrastructure, specifically the Great Firewall of China. The Great Firewall restricts the vast majority of Chinese citizens from accessing many international websites and networks. Therefore, if a company outside of China is demonstrably hacked from within China, and the target website is one that is normally blocked by the firewall, it strongly suggests one of two possibilities. Either the hacking entity was granted special permission by the government to bypass the firewall for operational purposes, or the operation was conducted by a state-sponsored organization that operates with built-in immunity from the firewall's restrictions. This makes it clear that while not every single attack is traced to a formal PLA unit, the government either condones, sponsors, or actively supports the actions of these hackers, as long as they benefit the homeland's strategic goals. The use of non-military entities provides an additional layer of plausible denial, further complicating international efforts to assign responsibility. The dragon's intellectual hunger is a patient, long-term economic strategy executed through digital means. It transforms the vast, interconnected internet into a massive, open-access library of the world's trade secrets. By continuously and quietly stealing the blueprints for the future, China dramatically shortens its own technological evolution, rapidly closing the gap with its economic rivals. The massive volume of stolen data acts as a continuous influx of research and development, subsidizing domestic industries. The silent success of this ambition reshapes the rules of international competition, making clear that economic warfare is now waged not just in markets and tariffs, but in the dark corners of global networks. And so, the quiet work continues. The meticulous search for the next algorithm, the next schematic, the next technological secret that will allow a nation to bypass years of research and build the future on a foundation of intellectual plunder. The stolen blueprints of the past are already flying high, and the hackers are already searching for the next generation of treasures. The Great Citizen Heist, China's endless database. A quiet reminder that every file, every record, and every intimate piece of personal history is continuously and quietly collected by unseen hands. This is the foundation of the Great Citizen Heist. An immense, sustained operation obsessed with acquiring the deepest, most sensitive information on millions of global citizens. While the dragon's hunger for intellectual property is focused on blueprints and algorithms, a parallel, equally vast effort is dedicated to building a massive, endless database of human vulnerability. For the state apparatus, information on its economic and political rivals is not just about military secrets, but about the intimate details of their populations, a form of soft yet powerful geopolitical leverage. This data collection is considered a long-term strategic asset, enabling targeted espionage, influence campaigns, and counterintelligence operations for decades to come. The intelligence gathered provides behavioral insights and predictive modeling capabilities. The sheer scale of this obsession was laid bare by a series of unprecedented data breaches that struck the very core of American economic and government life. These were not isolated incidents. They were systematic campaigns of data extraction targeting entities that held vast, centralized repositories of private data. The targeting strategy focused on institutions holding data that could be used for identity confirmation, profiling, and background analysis. One of the most consequential was the attack on Equifax, one of the three major credit reporting agencies in the United States. This breach resulted in the theft of the credit histories and personal information of 147 million Americans. To put this in perspective, almost anyone with a credit report, anyone who had ever applied for a loan, a mortgage, or a credit card, had their sensitive data compromised. This included names, dates of birth, social security numbers, and addresses, the essential building blocks for identity theft and deep background analysis. The stolen data encompassed approximately 1/3 of the entire US population at the time. The breach of Equifax essentially provided a comprehensive financial and personal catalog of a massive portion of the United States adult population, a digital treasure trove for any intelligence service, allowing them to map financial dependencies and vulnerabilities. The assault did not stop at financial data. It penetrated the very bureaucracy of the United States government. The Office of Personnel Management, or OPM, is the federal department responsible for managing and handling the sensitive records of government employees, retirees, and applicants. Chinese hackers breached the OPM and stole the personal records of 22 million individuals. This haul contained comprehensive background check information, including details about foreign contacts, personal relationships, financial history, and even highly sensitive mental health and personal habits revealed during security clearance applications. This was more than just a list of employees. It was a profound, detailed catalogue of the national security apparatus, providing a roadmap to identify, target, and potentially compromise current and former government officials with high levels of access. The OPM breach was particularly devastating as it compromised the records of individuals with top secret clearance, providing insight into the entire national security workforce. The campaign then extended into the private travel sector, targeting the Marriott hotel chain. This massive breach resulted in the theft of personal details belonging to 500 million guests. The stolen information included names, mailing addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, passport numbers, and travel histories. The compromised records spanned 7 years of reservations and guest profiles. For an intelligence service, this is invaluable data, allowing them to track the movements of high-value international travelers, politicians, diplomats, business leaders, and military personnel, and link them to specific locations, times, and other sensitive individuals, facilitating a comprehensive understanding of global elite networks. These incidents, taken together, reveal a single, overwhelming objective: an obsession with getting information on as many Americans and high-value foreign nationals as possible, and a willingness to utilize all available means to secure this data. The continuous data stream provides a constantly updated resource for strategic planning and intelligence analysis. Yet this collection effort is not solely dependent on clandestine hacking. Sometimes the data is delivered voluntarily. The rise of applications and platforms controlled by foreign entities has created a parallel, equally effective avenue for intelligence gathering. Consider the platform TikTok. This application, owned by a Chinese company, collects vast amounts of user data from every person who installs it. The collection is comprehensive and continuous. It gathers geolocation data, tracking where users are in the world at all times. It sifts through contacts on the phone, mapping social networks. It often accesses the clipboard, a temporary storage area that frequently holds passwords, confidential text, or other sensitive snippets copied by the user. It catalogs the other apps installed on the phone and tracks browser history. This massive collection occurs in the background, often unnoticed by the user. The key point here is the mechanism of delivery. This is not a hack in the traditional sense. It is a voluntary data delivery system, where millions of citizens willingly grant the application permissions that allow them to continuously send their most private data directly to a company based in China. This vast reservoir of data provides predictive insights into social trends and popular sentiment. For the government, the strategic outcome is the same as a massive data breach. They acquire comprehensive, granular information on the habits, interests, locations, and social connections of millions of individuals. The sheer volume of this constant, user-furnished data makes it just as valuable, if not more so, than a one-time network intrusion, as it provides real-time behavioral insights. The question then becomes, what is the strategic difference between hackers stealing private data from a United States company and United States citizens sending their private data directly to a foreign entity that operates under the jurisdiction of a centralized government? In the realm of intelligence, the result is identical: the continuous enrichment of a foreign database with the intimate details of a target population. This great citizen heist is a long-term, non-kinetic strategy. It is built on the premise that possessing the complete personal history of a population, their credit reports, their security clearance applications, their travel patterns, and their daily locations provides immense leverage. This information can be used for deep profiling, sophisticated social engineering, and the targeting of vulnerable individuals for recruitment or compromise. The data is leveraged to create highly personalized influence campaigns and to predict social and political trends. The ongoing operation reveals a truth about the modern digital state. The most valuable strategic asset is not the weapon, but the complete detailed psychological and financial profile of the adversary. This patient, methodical accumulation of personal records continues day after day, year after year, forming a digital shadow archive of the global population. As the collection continues, and every piece of personal history is catalogued and sorted, the quiet question remains: how will this vast, endless database of vulnerability be leveraged in the silent conflicts of the future? The data has been delivered, and the analysis is surely already underway. The digital winter, Russia and the NotPetya cascade. A somber look at a different kind of war, where the first casualty is the digital infrastructure of a nation, silently brought to ruin by a single line of malicious code. This was the terrifying reality of the digital winter, the moment Russia unleashed the NotPetya cascade, changing the global understanding of digital conflict forever. The Russian hacking apparatus, often referenced by the aliases Fancy Bear and Sandworm, operates with immense resources under the direction of the GRU, the main intelligence directorate of the Russian military. While they have been involved in numerous geopolitical campaigns, including election interference, the attack on Ukraine, known as NotPetya, stands as the most devastating and perhaps the most purely destructive act of cyber warfare ever recorded. The operation was attributed to the Sandworm Group, a faction of the GRU known for its focus on destructive infrastructure targeting attacks. NotPetya was not designed to steal secrets or extort money. Its intent was purely malicious, a chilling demonstration of digital annihilation. It was a wiper, a form of malware designed to render computer systems completely and permanently unusable. Its purpose was to cripple the digital foundation of an entire country. Unlike true ransomware, NotPetya's encryption process was irreversible, meaning even if a ransom were paid, the data could not be recovered. The malware was specifically designed to target the master boot record, making the operating system unrecoverable. The method of distribution was a masterpiece of infiltration and trust exploitation. The hackers targeted a small, highly specific piece of software, MEDoc, the ubiquitous tax filing software used by almost every person and business in Ukraine. Because this software was necessary for all financial operations and was routinely updated by its users, it was treated as a completely trusted national utility. The Russian hackers breached the network of the MEDoc provider and stealthily infected the software's update mechanism. They compromised the legitimate software provider, a technique known as a supply chain attack. When individuals and businesses downloaded what they believed to be a routine, secure update, they were unknowingly inviting the NotPetya virus and its accompanying worm directly into their most critical systems. The spread was immediate and rapid, ripping the country's digital infrastructure to shreds. This was a supply chain attack of the highest magnitude, using a trusted element to infect the entire ecosystem. Within hours, critical systems all over Ukraine were infected, rendering machines across the country completely unusable. The malware utilized both a local network exploitation tool, Eternal Blue, and compromised legitimate credentials to propagate across corporate networks at lightning speed. The cascading physical effects were profound. Automated teller machines, or ATMs, went down, instantly seizing up the flow of cash. Banks were brought to a standstill, halting transactions and commerce. Government facilities, unable to process data or communicate, became effectively non-functional. Hospitals, the very lifelines of the community, were crippled, unable to access patient records or coordinate treatment. Libraries and schools also went dark. The attack did not discriminate. It struck at the heart of daily life and essential services, causing widespread panic and paralysis, and showcasing the vulnerability of modern, connected society. The sudden, total cessation of critical state functions demonstrated the vulnerability of IT and OT, information technology and operational technology, systems to a sophisticated digital attack. The NotPetya attack quickly spilled beyond the borders of Ukraine, demonstrating the indiscriminate, runaway nature of the weapon. Because the malware used sophisticated methods to spread across connected networks, any international company with operations or partners in Ukraine became an unwitting vector for the global infection. One of the most high-profile international victims was Maersk, the Danish shipping giant, and one of the largest shipping companies in the world. The infection knocked their global operations completely offline. The logistical chaos was immense. With Maersk's logistical systems down, the company had millions of pieces of cargo, containers filled with goods, food and supplies, stranded all over the world with no idea where they were supposed to go. The digital attack instantly translated into real-world logistical chaos, paralyzing global trade on a massive scale and demonstrating the interconnectedness of global commerce. United States companies were also hit, including Merck, a major pharmaceutical company. The attack on Merck resulted in billions of dollars in losses and significant operational disruption, forcing the company to slow production and replace thousands of infected machines. While the malware mimicked ransomware, demanding a payment to unlock files, the technical reality quickly became clear. There was no actual mechanism to retrieve the data. NotPetya was designed to wipe the files with no recovery key, making it a pure act of destruction masquerading as extortion. The sheer economic cost, estimated in the tens of billions of dollars globally, combined with the unprecedented level of collateral damage and its military origin, led many experts to classify NotPetya as the first true act of cyber war. It crossed a conceptual line, moving from digital espionage or crime to a systematic campaign of physical disruption and destruction that severely crippled a nation's ability to function and caused massive global financial fallout. The responsible group, Sandworm, is an established and highly capable component of the GRU, specifically operating out of Unit 74,455 and Unit 26,165. Their actions demonstrate a frightening willingness to use digital means to achieve military objectives that inflict maximum civilian and economic pain without firing a single shot. The legacy of NotPetya is a somber truth. Cyber capabilities can achieve the impact of physical conflict, and the destructive potential can easily escape borders, turning a regional dispute into a global catastrophe. The targeting of MEDOC provided a chilling lesson in the vulnerability of trusted digital supply chains, the realization that the software we rely on daily can be easily turned into a Trojan horse weapon. The digital scars of this winter remain, a constant reminder of the speed and scale with which an entire nation can be brought to its knees. The architects of this destruction are still operating, still refining their tools, and still seeking the next vulnerable point of trust in the world's connected network. As the memory of the cascade lingers, the focus remains on the shadow movements of the GRU. The quiet question is not if they will strike again, but rather which trusted, everyday piece of global software will be chosen as the next carrier for their next, more sophisticated wave of digital destruction. The uninvited guest, Russia and the Olympic silence. A story about the precise moment of highest global anticipation, when the world gathers for a celebration of unity and competition, and a hidden hand seeks only to sow confusion and discord. The uninvited guest arrives not with a greeting, but with a silent, calculated strike aimed at the very heart of the spectacle. The target was the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. The event, a culmination of years of preparation and billions of dollars in investment, was about to begin. Athletes from around the globe were gathered, the stands were filled with spectators, and the eyes of the world were turned toward the opening ceremony. For the Russian intelligence apparatus, known as the GRU, this moment of global focus presented a unique opportunity for disruption and geopolitical messaging. The attack was timed with chilling precision. Right as the opening ceremony was about to commence, Russian hackers, likely affiliates of the Fancy Bear or Sandworm groups, set off a digital detonation inside the Olympic infrastructure. This was not a physical explosion, but a logic bomb, a piece of malicious code pre-planted to execute at a specific, crucial time. The code was designed to be dormant until the most impactful moment, maximizing chaos and embarrassment. The effect was instantaneous and devastating to the Olympic technical systems. The logic bomb systematically wiped out the Olympic data centers, bringing down the core digital brain of the entire event. Authentication methods, the essential systems that confirmed who had access to what, collapsed entirely. The Wi-Fi networks throughout the Olympic arenas, relied upon by organizers, media, and attendees, went dead, cutting off critical communication lines. The impact was one of pervasive, immediate chaos. Spectators who had purchased tickets suddenly found their digital passes useless, unable to enter the venues. The logistical teams managing the athletes, the venues, and the broadcast feeds were paralyzed, unable to communicate or access necessary schedules and data. A sense of confusion and alarm swept through the facilities, distracting from the celebratory atmosphere and threatening to derail the massive, live global broadcast, forcing technicians to scramble for manual workarounds. The motive behind this attack was clearly not financial gain, nor was it traditional espionage. It was an act of political humiliation and disruption. The goal was to cast a shadow over the Winter Games, especially following the ban of the official Russian team from the Olympics due to state-sponsored doping violations. The attack was a clear message of protest and digital retaliation against the international sports governing bodies. By crippling the digital infrastructure, the hackers sent a clear yet deniable message of displeasure and power projection. The sheer meticulousness of the operation demonstrated the advanced capabilities of the state actor. It required weeks, if not months, of reconnaissance and infiltration to gain access to the data centers and successfully plant the logic bomb, all while remaining completely undetected by the Olympic security teams. They utilized sophisticated techniques to move laterally within the network and establish persistence. They were, quite literally, the uninvited guest lurking deep within the system, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Initial analysis by security experts revealed that the malware used in the attack was designed not only for destruction, but also for misdirection. The code included false flags and carefully placed clues designed to point the finger toward North Korean hackers. This technique of false flag attribution is a hallmark of highly sophisticated state-sponsored operations, aiming to create maximum confusion and prevent immediate, accurate retaliation, buying the real perpetrators time to cover their tracks. However, subsequent, deeper forensic analysis conducted by cybersecurity firms and intelligence agencies managed to trace the digital fingerprints back to the GRU. This intelligence agency, the main directorate of the Russian military, orchestrates these operations through specialized military units. The names Fancy Bear and Sandworm, which represent the operational aliases of the hackers, have become synonymous with the GRU's aggressive and destabilizing activities in the digital realm. This incident served as a powerful reminder that global, high-profile events are increasingly vulnerable to digital sabotage. The prestige and complexity of the Olympics made it a perfect target, demonstrating that a nation-state can achieve a significant geopolitical impact simply by leveraging software and timing. The attack caused no physical harm, yet it achieved widespread digital paralysis and global embarrassment for the host nation and the international organizing bodies. The cost of the disruption and the resulting cleanup was immense, adding a heavy financial burden to the host country. The quiet, destructive power of the logic bomb, triggered at the moment of highest anticipation, turned a global celebration into a scene of digital disorder. The hackers successfully inserted their presence into the narrative of the games, proving that even a meticulously organized, globally monitored event is susceptible to unseen infiltration. The digital quiet returned eventually, and the Olympics continued, albeit with disrupted systems and heightened security alerts. But the memory of the sabotage lingered. The silent attack that demonstrated the geopolitical power of disruption, proving that a major nation-state could successfully challenge the authority of global institutions simply by striking at the hidden wires and servers that make the modern world function. And as the GRU continues its operations, the quiet question remains: what highly symbolic, globally visible event will be chosen next for the intervention of the uninvited guest? They have mastered the art of timing and the politics of chaos, and their silent work is likely already underway. The Digital Genesis, the USA's foundation of code. A quiet reflection on beginnings, where the very network that connects our world was first conceived by a small, dedicated group of researchers working for a nation's defense. Digital Genesis is the story of how one government's early commitment to connectivity laid the foundation for the most powerful and far-reaching cyber capabilities on Earth. The United States holds a fundamental, generational advantage in the digital realm, simply because it is the origin point of the Internet itself. The Internet was not born in a commercial research lab. It sprang from the AARP-ANET, or Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, which was created by the United States Department of Defense. This history means that the nation's intelligence and military communities have been in the game since day one, understanding the structure, the protocols, and the fundamental vulnerabilities of the network before it even became a global public utility. This foundational knowledge provides an inherent operational advantage in network mapping, penetration, and defense, often allowing them to predict vulnerabilities in emerging technologies. This foundational understanding is reflected in the sheer scale and depth of the United States government's investment in cyber operations. Unlike other nations that might centralize their efforts in one or two intelligence agencies, the United States has numerous, highly advanced departments dedicated to cyber capabilities. This vast resource pool is designed for redundancy and specialized focus. At the very top of this hierarchy stand the National Security Agency, or NSA, and the United States Cyber Command. The NSA focuses on signals intelligence, cryptanalysis, and the collection of foreign communications. The United States Cyber Command, or CYBERCOM, is responsible for conducting military operations in cyberspace, commanding and controlling the nation's digital forces. The command structure ensures a seamless transition between intelligence gathering and actionable military operations, allowing for rapid response to evolving digital threats. But the complexity runs far deeper. Every single branch of the military maintains its own dedicated, highly capable cyber team. This distributed, redundant structure ensures specialized expertise across every domain of warfare. There is the Army Cyber Command, the Marine Forces Cyber Command, the Air Force Cyber Command, and the Navy's U.S. Fleet Cyber Command. Each branch develops unique capabilities tailored to its specific operational environment, from tactical intelligence gathering in active combat zones to long-range strategic network penetration. Each of these units is trained and equipped with its own offensive capabilities. This means their mission is not merely to defend networks, but to be proficient in the skills of digital infiltration, sabotage, and attack against enemy systems. For a commander on the ground or a fleet at sea, this capability might be something as simple and immediate as digitally gaining the exact location of a target's phone. Or, at the strategic level, it might involve a complex, multi-layered operation to infiltrate an adversary's critical network and execute a catastrophic failure, effectively bringing about the cessation of operation on command. The doctrine of these units emphasizes speed, stealth, and precision in achieving strategic objectives. This vast network of decentralized yet coordinated digital forces is a reflection of the nation's global interests. The United States maintains a presence in countries all over the world, supported by over 38 foreign military bases. Because of this worldwide reach and the vast array of global interests, from diplomatic security to trade protection, the United States invests heavily in collecting intelligence from every single part of the world on every single issue. While a nation like Israel might focus its intelligence efforts primarily on the Middle East, the mandate of the United States apparatus is to focus on everything, everywhere. This constant, universal need for situational awareness drives the perpetual development of capabilities that must be able to operate, infiltrate, and remain undetected across every type of network, system, and digital border. This global requirement demands a continuous, massive investment in satellites, data processing, and human intelligence gathering. to exploit both physical and digital weaknesses. This requirement for unparalleled reach and complexity contributes to a level of technical sophistication that is extremely difficult for any other government to match. The resources committed to the research, development, and execution of their most complex operations are immense, drawing on the deepest technical expertise in the nation. The government often recruits directly from top-tier research universities and private sector technology firms, ensuring a constant influx of cutting-edge knowledge. The sheer calculated brilliance of the American cyber apparatus can be illustrated by the unparalleled example of Stuxnet. The initial objective of this malware was simple: to sabotage the nuclear enrichment facility at Natanz in Iran. The execution, however, was anything but simple, requiring a level of inter-agency collaboration and technical stealth never before witnessed. The Natanz facility was heavily fortified, and crucially, it was completely air-gapped, meaning its internal network was physically disconnected from the public internet. Hacking it directly was, for all intents and purposes, impossible. The operation was believed to be a collaboration between the NSA, the Central Intelligence Agency, or CIA, and a unique, unexpected partner, the United States Department of Energy. This department, while not traditionally an intelligence or military agency, harbors experts who understand the physics, mechanics, and operational minutiae of nuclear centrifuges very well. The genius of the operation lay in this interdisciplinary union. By putting a skilled NSA hacker in the room with someone who understood the physical centrifuges inside and out, they were able to create something profoundly damaging, yet exquisitely subtle. Their aim was to find numerous vulnerabilities in the exact centrifuges that Iran was using and create a computer virus that would compromise them. But the final design was not intended to destroy the machines immediately. Instead, it was engineered to inflict just enough damage to make the centrifuges subtly fail, gradually increasing their rotation speed and then decreasing it, making the machines fall apart from the inside, but making it look like a spontaneous malfunction and not a sabotage. The virus was then delivered into the facility, likely through the CIA, who are adept at physical infiltration, possibly by planting the malware on a universal serial bus drive or USB drive, carried in by an unsuspecting engineer. Stuxnet was a highly advanced and secret attack that remained successful for years. Iran did not suspect foreign sabotage, instead believing the equipment was simply failing on its own. It wasn't until the virus spread outside the facility and became public that the world learned about the incredible sophistication, the unparalleled stealth, and the multidisciplinary collaboration that went into the operation. The digital genesis created a unique, enduring capability, born from the earliest roots of the network, sustained by unmatched resources, and refined by the highest technical collaboration. The United States cyber apparatus remains a singular, quiet force. As the quiet work of collection, infiltration, and preparation continues across the numerous command centers and specialized units, the power of this foundation ensures the nation maintains a constant, evolving awareness of the global digital landscape. This quiet, powerful presence shapes the rules of digital engagement, ensuring that when the moment demands it, the full force of the digital genesis can be precisely and silently deployed. Glowing Symphony, destroying the digital caliphate. A story of a long, sustained campaign fought not with conventional weapons, but with the steady, meticulous dismantling of a terror network's vital communication lines. This was Glowing Symphony, a mission that demonstrated the overwhelming effectiveness of digital attrition against a determined yet technologically vulnerable adversary. The target was the vast and decentralized digital infrastructure used by the terror group known as the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, or ISIS. This group relied heavily on its online presence to recruit, coordinate operations, and, crucially, to disseminate its propaganda. Magazines, videos, and social media messaging that were essential to maintaining morale and projecting power globally. The goal of the operation was not a sudden, singular blow, but a systematic, deliberate campaign to disrupt, degrade, and ultimately bring about the cessation of operation for the computers and networks that fueled this digital caliphate. The operation was a textbook example of high-level interagency collaboration, combining the expertise of the most advanced cyber units in the United States. It was a joint effort orchestrated by the National Security Agency, or NSA, the United States Cyber Command, and the Marine Forces Cyber Command. This pooling of resources ensured that the operation possessed both the signals intelligence collection power of the NSA and the operational strike capabilities of the military's dedicated cyber forces. This unified command structure allowed for immediate action based on intelligence gained. The preparation for Operation Glowing Symphony was extensive and methodical. The team spent months meticulously gathering intelligence, patiently gaining as much access as they possibly could into the digital nervous system of the ISIS network. This phase was one of quiet reconnaissance, mapping out the architecture, identifying key servers, pinpointing data storage locations, and observing the routines of the users. They were essentially creating a detailed, digital map of the enemy's sanctuary, learning the patterns of movement and the structural weaknesses of their command and control. They specialized in exploiting the terror group's reliance on commercial platforms and weak operational security practices. When the intelligence community and military commanders finally issued the order, known in operational terms as cleared hot, the cyber units swiftly moved into the target networks. The campaign that followed was not a quick hack. It was an exercise in sustained, systematic attrition. The operation began the process of destroying the network from the inside out. They began by locking the users out of their accounts, cutting off the digital communication channels that the terror group relied upon. But they didn't stop at merely seizing control. They proceeded to erase data, systematically wiping the content and operational records stored on the ISIS servers. The most critical aspect of the destructive phase was the systematic search for backups. In any robust network, backups are the ultimate line of defense against data loss. The operational teams specifically sought out these redundant storage locations and proceeded to erase them too. This crucial step ensured that the digital destruction was permanent and that the network could not be easily or quickly restored. This methodical destruction of redundancy was key to the operation's long-term success. The strategy was to constantly keep the terror group off balance. The units moved methodically, going down the line and bringing about the cessation of one digital objective after another, accomplishing their mission of sustained degradation. The very foundation of the ISIS propaganda machine was under constant digital siege. As a result, the terror group was indeed able to rebuild parts of their network initially. However, the United States Cyber Command adopted a strategy of persistent engagement, continuing to attack the rebuilt sections of the network over and over again. This unrelenting pressure transformed the digital space into a hostile, unstable environment for ISIS. Every time they tried to restore a communication channel or relaunch a propaganda site, the cyber forces were there, ready to strike and dismantle it again. This constant digital harassment made effective communication nearly impossible. The cumulative effect of this constant digital bombardment led to a significant and measurable decrease in ISIS propaganda getting out to the world. Their ability to maintain a consistent presence, to publish new issues of their online magazines, and to distribute high-quality recruitment videos was severely hampered. Ultimately, the terror group was forced to abandon some of their primary media channels entirely. They could not maintain the speed, security, and stability required to run sophisticated digital operations under the constant, overwhelming pressure of Operation Glowing Symphony. The digital caliphate, though difficult to end the life of, could be effectively silenced and starved of the information flow it needed to survive and recruit. Operation Glowing Symphony stands as a defining moment in military cyber history. It proved that sustained, non-kinetic digital operations could achieve strategic military outcomes, specifically in the realm of information warfare and counter-terrorism. It demonstrated that cyber capability could be used not just for intelligence collection, but as a powerful precision weapon of digital attrition. The months of patient reconnaissance and the methodical, destructive actions highlight the profound shift in modern warfare. The battlefield can be air-gapped or thousands of miles away, but the outcome is achieved in the silent exchange of data, the deletion of records, and the dismantling of digital infrastructure. The quiet work of the cyber forces continues, operating under the same principle, that the unseen, persistent application of digital pressure is often more effective than kinetic force. The legacy of Glowing Symphony is a testament to the success of turning the enemy's reliance on digital communication into their most profound strategic vulnerability. And so, the quiet surveillance continues, ensuring that the digital voices of adversaries remain constantly challenged and silenced by the unseen hands of the operators, maintaining a steady, silent watch over the global network. The Impossibility Engine, the birth of Stuxnet. A deep dive into the perfect sabotage, a weapon so complex it could only be conceived by a union of minds that understood both the secret language of the machine and the fragile, spinning heart of a nuclear process. This was the Impossibility Engine, a malware designed not for theft or destruction, but for exquisite, undetectable subversion. The target was the highly sensitive nuclear enrichment facility at Natanz in Iran. This facility was the centerpiece of a controversial nuclear program, and because of its strategic importance, it was protected by multiple layers of security. The first and most crucial layer was its air-gapped status. This meant the internal network that controlled the enrichment equipment was physically disconnected from the public internet. For a traditional cyber attacker, breaking into such a facility to sabotage it was, for all intents and purposes, impossible. The operation to circumvent this impossibility required an extraordinary level of collaboration that went beyond the typical military intelligence partnership. It is widely believed that the operation involved the technical expertise of the National Security Agency, or NSA, the infiltration capabilities of the Central Intelligence Agency, or CIA, and a unique, unexpected partner, the United States Department of Energy. The involvement of the Department of Energy highlights the brilliant interdisciplinary nature of the attack. While the NSA possessed the highest level of skills in code breaking and digital infiltration, the Department of Energy housed experts who understood the physics, mechanics, and operational minutiae of nuclear centrifuges very well. The Department of Energy experts provided crucial information on the specific controller software and failure modes of the centrifuges. The genius of Stuxnet lay in this interdisciplinary union. By putting a skilled cyber operator in the room with someone who understood precisely how the centrifuges were designed to operate, and more importantly, how they were prone to failure, they were able to create a computer virus that was exquisitely tailored. Their aim was not to instantly destroy the facility in an overt act of war, but to inflict precise, subtle sabotage that would make the machines fall apart, while simultaneously making it appear to be a spontaneous malfunction. If the target suspected a sophisticated digital attack, they would patch their systems and eliminate the threat. If they believed it was equipment failure, they would simply replace the broken parts and continue, leaving the hidden weapon in place. The malware, once created, was meticulously engineered to target the exact Siemens centrifuges that Iran was utilizing. Stuxnet operated in a stunningly stealthy manner. It would first quietly record the normal operating parameters of the centrifuges, creating a baseline of expected activity. Then, the malicious code would intervene, secretly increasing the rotational speed of the delicate, high-speed centrifuges to an excessive rate, subjecting them to intolerable stress. Crucially, while this physical destruction was occurring, Stuxnet simultaneously fed the control monitors false data, the recorded normal baseline readings. The operators watching their screens believed everything was running smoothly, entirely unaware that the machines just feet away were literally tearing themselves apart from the internal stress caused by the virus. This manipulation of the supervisory control and data acquisition, or SCADA, systems was the ultimate act of digital deception. To deliver this invisible weapon into a completely air-gapped facility, the most challenging step was the physical breach. This phase was likely handled by the CIA, who specializes in physical tradecraft and infiltration. The delivery method is believed to have been simple, yet effective. The malware was planted on a universal serial bus drive, or USB drive, carried into the secure facility by an unsuspecting engineer or contractor whose normal duties required them to plug the device into the internal air-gapped network. The use of a simple trusted item like a USB drive was the necessary physical vector for the highly complex digital payload. The stealth of Stuxnet was so profound that it remained successful and undetected for years. As centrifuges failed by the hundreds, the Iranian operators genuinely suspected that their equipment was simply faulty or that the supplies they had procured were substandard. They continued to replace the broken centrifuges, effectively giving the Stuxnet virus fresh, new targets to destroy. It was not until the highly self-propagating virus accidentally spread outside the Natanz facility and was discovered by a security researcher in the international community that the world learned the truth. The discovery of the malware's code revealed the intricate sophistication, the unparalleled collaboration between physics and cyber warfare, and the patient, brilliant stealth that went into the operation. Stuxnet became the ultimate cyber weapon, a digital ghost that caused physical destruction while actively convincing its victims that no attack had ever occurred. Its success set an entirely new standard for complexity and precision in state-sponsored digital sabotage. The legacy of the impossibility engine is the chilling realization that for a sufficiently resourced nation, there is no such thing as an impregnable defense, even the air gap. The key is not to fight the system directly, but to manipulate the perception of the operators. As the quiet development of new, subtle cyber weapons continues across the globe, the perfect, invisible sabotage of Stuxnet remains a benchmark. It ensures that every government that relies on critical infrastructure must now constantly ask a quiet, uncomfortable question. Are our machines truly failing? Or is there a ghost in the system, waiting patiently to be discovered? The Five Eyes, an alliance in the shadows, a quiet acknowledgement of the bond forged in shared secrets, where 5 nations pool their digital strength to see further and clearer into the global stream of intelligence. This is the Five Eyes, an alliance that transforms individual defense capabilities into a single, global, interconnected apparatus operating in the quiet shadows. The Five Eyes Alliance is not a recent development, nor is it a simple military treaty. It is a long-standing intelligence partnership that dates back to the aftermath of the Second World War. The original agreement, formalized into the UK-USA Security Agreement, was initially focused on sharing signals intelligence. Over the decades, it evolved to include 4 other nations: the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. This alliance is a powerful, formal structure dedicated to the collection and mutual sharing of intelligence. In the modern digital age, this means far more than just sharing documents. It involves the continuous exchange of technical capabilities, cryptographic breakthroughs, and, most importantly, raw, unprocessed data collected from global communications networks. The formal structure ensures legal grounds for the massive exchange of highly classified information, a volume that would be impossible through ad hoc arrangements. The Five Eyes Agreement is crucial because it leverages the unique geographical and technical strengths of each member nation. No single country can effectively monitor the entire planet, but through collaboration, their collective reach becomes comprehensive. For instance, the United Kingdom's GCHQ provides unparalleled access to the massive fiber optic cables that land on the British coastline, allowing for the interception of a significant portion of the world's internet traffic. This intelligence, captured by GCHQ's Tempora project, is then shared with the other partners. In return, the United States NSA brings its vast satellite interception capabilities, advanced cryptanalytic resources, and the immense processing power of its data centers. Australia and New Zealand contribute vital strategic intelligence on the Asia-Pacific region, while Canada provides critical data related to northern communication routes and specific international targets. This strategic division of labor maximizes the global coverage of the alliance. This arrangement creates a continuous, seamless intelligence stream. When one nation needs a specific piece of information or requires intelligence collected from a geographic location where it lacks a formal presence, it can rely on one of the other 4 partners to provide that access. It is a highly efficient form of global digital coverage, ensuring that few parts of the world remain truly dark or unobserved. The data is often standardized and shared on common platforms, allowing for immediate analysis across all 5 agencies. The concept extends into the offensive realm as well. When highly complex or resource-intensive cyber operations are required, such as the Stuxnet attack or the persistent engagement strategy seen in Operation Glowing Symphony, the Five Eyes partnership facilitates the pooling of specialized resources and expertise. This means that the United States' Army Cyber Command could potentially collaborate with the United Kingdom's GCHQ Unit 8200 on a single, shared intelligence objective. This joint operational capacity ensures that when a major strategic or military goal is identified, the combined technical and human capital of 5 sovereign nations can be brought to bear in a highly coordinated, stealthy manner. This global, interconnected intelligence apparatus transcends traditional national borders. For the operatives working in the command centers, the data they analyze is not segmented by country of origin, but by the subject it covers. A piece of intercepted communication collected in New Zealand may be analyzed by an expert in the United States, who then uses that intelligence to inform a military operation coordinated by the United Kingdom. This level of integration ensures immediate response times and a comprehensive 360-degree view of the digital world. The core principle behind the Five Eyes is mutual trust and reciprocal support. In a world where digital threats evolve rapidly and often originate from unpredictable sources, the Alliance acts as a shared shield, multiplying the defensive capabilities of each member. The resources required to develop zero-day exploits, advanced surveillance malware, and counter-cryptography techniques are vast. By sharing these discoveries and tools, the Five Eyes members gain an exponential advantage over any single adversary. This shared capability accelerates the development of countermeasures against foreign threats. The long-term effect of this alliance is one of quiet, pervasive influence. The Five Eyes partnership sets the standard for signals intelligence collection globally, defining the very cutting edge of what is technically possible in the realm of surveillance and digital infiltration. The existence of this unified front ensures that while individual threats may arise, the collective response remains overwhelmingly powerful, stable, and persistent. The alliance is not without controversy, as the sheer scale of the surveillance capabilities raises complex ethical and legal questions regarding the privacy of global communications. However, from a strategic perspective, the Five Eyes provides its members with an unmatched clarity of vision into the geopolitical intentions, military movements, and economic ambitions of the world. The quiet understanding continues. In the shadowy complexity of the digital world, no nation can stand completely alone. The bond of the Five Eyes provides a foundation of shared strength, ensuring that the streams of intelligence flow consistently, securely, and always toward the common strategic objective. And as the data continues to move through the cables and satellites, the Alliance remains vigilant, a silent, powerful guardian of the digital flow, continuously charting the hidden currents of global communications. The weaponization of trust, the role of the access broker, a soft contemplation on the new economy of darkness, where the most valuable commodity is not stolen data, but the secret, quiet key to a corporate network. This is the weaponization of trust, the rise of the network access broker, and the silent commercial engine that fuels the modern ransomware ecosystem. The world of cybercrime has evolved far beyond the image of a single, brilliant hacker working in isolation. It has matured into a sophisticated, compartmentalized criminal economy, driven by specialized roles and efficient, scalable business models. At the foundational entry point of this sprawling industry operates a figure known as the Network Access Broker, or NAB. The Network Access Broker is an infiltration specialist. Their singular job is not to deploy malware, encrypt files, or steal masses of data, but simply to gain and maintain a persistent, covert point of entry into corporate and government networks. They are the initial breach experts, the ones who silently pick the lock and slip the key to someone else for profit. The brokers operate with a singular focus on achieving initial access, often selling their compromised credentials within hours of gaining entry. This specialization is a key structural component of the highly lucrative ransomware as a service model, or RAAS. This criminal enterprise functions like a legitimate business where different actors play specialized, defined roles. In this model, the ransomware developers create and lease the core malware, the complex encryption software, and command infrastructure. The affiliates, the actual attackers, rent these tools and deploy them against targets. The network access broker, however, is the one who provides the initial point of entry to the target network, enabling the entire attack chain to begin. The efficiency of this arrangement is alarming. A network access broker will patiently scan the digital horizon, searching for vulnerable systems, exploiting weaknesses in security software, or purchasing stolen credentials from other criminals. Once a network is successfully breached, the NAB installs a quiet backdoor, often a remote access credential that grants future, unrestricted entry. They then refrain from using this access themselves, choosing instead to sell the confirmed entry point on private cybercrime forums. Imagine the network access broker as a vending machine for compromised organizations. They meticulously compile a list of their current successful infiltrations, a catalog that might include hospitals, manufacturing firms, or technology companies, and offer the secret, quiet key to those networks for a small fee. Once a ransomware affiliate chooses their desired victim from this list and pays the initial access price, the NAB hands over the remote access credentials. This allows the affiliate to bypass the external defenses entirely and immediately deploy their destructive malware deep within the target's network. This division of labor dramatically lowers the barrier to entry for prospective cybercriminals, The affiliates no longer need to be sophisticated intrusion specialists. They only need the capital to purchase the initial access and the rented ransomware code. This specialization has led to a high degree of efficiency and profitability within the cybercrime ecosystem, allowing attacks to proliferate rapidly and target a wider, less predictable range of victims. The broker's value proposition is simplicity and confirmed access. They reduce the attack time for the affiliate, eliminate the risk of the initial, noisy breach, and ensure the target is highly vulnerable. For the affiliate, buying access is far safer and more cost-effective than attempting the initial hack themselves. The access is frequently sold multiple times to different buyers, maximizing the broker's profit. The network access broker focuses purely on the reconnaissance and the entry, selling the weaponized trust they exploit. Their work underscores the foundational weakness of the digital world: trust in software, trust in employees, and trust in the boundary of the firewall. By finding a flaw in any one of these pillars, the NAB converts that vulnerability into immediate, untraceable capital. The network access broker often operates with a chilling level of anonymity and professionalism, posting detailed dossiers on the networks they have compromised. These listings typically include the name of the target company, the type of industry, the level of access achieved, such as a specific server or domain administrator account, and the price, usually denominated in cryptocurrency, to ensure untraceable payment. The quiet role of the access broker is a crucial mechanism that sustains the entire architecture of modern ransomware, transforming what was once a disruptive anomaly into a predictable, scalable business model. Their success ensures a continuous stream of vulnerable, pre-breach targets for the numerous ransomware groups operating across the globe. As long as the network access broker can quietly find the hidden doors, the affiliates will continue to rent the destructive tools, maintaining a constant state of threat for global digital infrastructure. And so, the quiet auctions continue on the dark forums. The NAB's latest list of compromised networks, a silent testament to the weaponization of trust, sits ready for purchase, ensuring that the next major attack will begin not with a breach, but with a simple, purchased login. The immunity paradox, the sanctuary state, a soft look at the strange geography of cyber warfare, where the lines drawn on a physical map can become a shield against international justice. This is the immunity paradox, the quiet reality that a single political border can transform a global criminal operation into an untouchable sanctuary. In the complex calculus of cybercrime and state-sponsored hacking, a fundamental assumption governs the operation of many malicious actors. Operating from within a non-cooperative country provides a significant, almost absolute level of protection from international law enforcement. This belief is not merely wishful thinking. It is a calculated risk based on the limits of diplomatic cooperation and the sovereignty of nations. For hackers operating from countries like Russia or North Korea, the physical boundary is a powerful legal defense, while law enforcement agencies in the United States or the United Kingdom can gather intelligence, issue indictments, and impose financial sanctions. These tools are often rendered moot by the concept of territorial sovereignty. An indictment is simply a piece of paper, unless the prosecuting country can actually arrest the individual, which is impossible if the host country refuses to cooperate with extradition. or arrest requests. This operational mindset is often encapsulated in the personal philosophies of the hackers themselves. They adhere to a self-imposed boundary, famously captured by the mantra, "Don't where you live, travel local." This suggests a perception of immunity, a belief that as long as they confine their targets to entities outside their domestic borders and avoid any travel abroad that might subject them to international arrest warrants, they can operate with practical impunity. The system is designed to prosecute crimes against the state, not crimes conducted by their citizens against foreign entities. This dynamic presents profound challenges for international law enforcement. Traditional methods used to combat transnational organized crime struggle to penetrate these digital safe havens. For example, the United States State Department has offered multi-million-dollar rewards for the capture of major Russian hackers. Yet, these financial incentives, which function like bug bounty programs applied to human targets, are ultimately limited by the necessity of a physical arrest. As long as the individual remains within the protected sanctuary state, the reward offer becomes an abstract declaration, a symbol of commitment rather than an actionable threat. The issue extends beyond the individual hackers themselves to the very infrastructure they rely upon. Cybercriminals require servers, hosting, and communication networks to conduct their operations. Many utilize services known as bulletproof hosting. Bulletproof hosting services specialize in providing highly resilient, often legally ambiguous infrastructure to cybercriminals. They operate from jurisdictions with lax oversight or limited international law enforcement cooperation, creating a digital safe haven. These services are invaluable to criminal groups because they guarantee that even if their operations are identified and targeted by foreign law enforcement, their servers will not be quickly taken down. The criminal groups can continue to run their command and control operations, their data leak sites, and their communication channels with a high degree of confidence, knowing that the physical location of the host protects them. This creates a complex, multifaceted obstacle to justice. Law enforcement must use a three-pronged approach, legal, financial, and technical, to even attempt to disrupt these operations. Legally, they issue indictments across multiple jurisdictions, multi-jurisdictional cybercrime prosecution, to signal that the crimes are internationally recognized. Financially, they impose sanctions to disrupt the criminals' access to cryptocurrency exchanges and traditional banking systems, the follow-the-money tactics. Technically, they rely on sophisticated measures like the onion router or TOR, virtual private networks, or VPNs, and blockchain technologies for transactions, which create layers of obfuscation that challenge traditional investigative methods. However, each of these measures faces significant obstacles rooted in the sanctuary paradox. Indictments are ignored. Financial sanctions can often be circumvented through resilient, often state-adjacent financial systems, and the advanced anonymization techniques used by the hackers. The TOR network for communications, sophisticated encryption, and fast-moving cryptocurrency transactions make it extremely difficult to track the flow of data or money to its ultimate physical endpoint. The result is a constant, frustrating cycle for global law enforcement. They can observe the crime, understand the network, and identify the perpetrators, yet remain powerless to execute the final act of apprehension. The hackers, cloaked in the legal sovereignty of their host nation, project digital power outward while remaining safely immune from consequence. This immunity paradox ensures that the digital arms race will continue. As long as safe havens exist, the most sophisticated cybercrime and state-sponsored espionage will flourish, knowing that the single, simple act of staying home is the most effective defense against global justice. The silent understanding remains that overcoming this paradox will require a fundamental shift in international cooperation. Until those safe havens are addressed, until the political will exists to cooperate across deeply fractured diplomatic lines, the sanctuary state will continue to foster the most advanced and destructive criminal operations, securing their own systems by pointing their digital weapons outward. And so, the quiet work of the protected continues, secure behind the invisible wall of sovereignty, ensuring that the digital map remains divided into zones of accountability and zones of absolute, untouchable immunity. The ever-evolving shoreline, the digital arms race. A final, quiet observation on the constant cycle of building and breaking, where the digital frontier is forever shifting, and every defense is merely a temporary solution. The ever-evolving shoreline is the permanent condition of the digital world, defined by the perpetual motion of attack and defense, ensuring that true stillness is an illusion. The stories of the past 14 chapters, from the brazen bank robberies of the Lazarus Group to the geopolitical disruption of NotPetya and the ingenious collaboration behind Stuxnet, are not merely historical incidents. They are clear markers in a continuous, unrelenting timeline of digital evolution. The one constant that underpins all these events is the principle of persistence. For every line of defensive code written, a more clever line of offensive code is being developed to bypass it. The attackers, driven by vast state resources or the lucrative business model of ransomware as a service, or RAAS, have no reason to halt their work. When one group is dismantled, as seen with the temporary disruption of major ransomware gangs, the core code, the stolen capabilities, and the highly trained personnel simply reorganize under a new name or move into a new sanctuary state. The threat is not an individual or a single piece of malware. It is a self-sustaining ecosystem of expertise and financial incentive. This necessity of relentless adaptation defines the digital arms race. It is a race fueled by the realization that victory is always fleeting. When the United Kingdom's GCHQ masters the interception of communications flowing through the undersea cables, their adversaries immediately shift their focus to more advanced end-to-end encryption or to highly obscured communications over platforms like the Onion router. When the United States Cyber Command perfects a new weapon, that weapon inevitably falls into the hands of a foreign power or a criminal enterprise, forcing the original creator to develop a defense against their own creation. Consider the progression of threats we have quietly observed. It began with the relatively blunt yet devastating technique of mass surveillance and simple financial theft, exemplified by the early campaigns of the Lazarus Group. This quickly escalated into the systematic, industrial-scale theft of intellectual property by China's intelligence apparatus, where the goal was to steal the blueprints of the future. The destructive potential then grew exponentially with the advent of NotPetya by the Russian GRU. This was not about stealing secrets. It was about digital annihilation, a deliberate act of mass destruction that demonstrated that digital power could achieve the same crippling effect as physical warfare without ever crossing a physical border. This willingness to use cyber tools for kinetic effect marked a terrifying escalation in the silent war. Following this, the technical complexity reached its zenith with the exquisite covert operation of Stuxnet. This attack proved that digital weapons could be used not just for destruction, but for perfect, undetectable sabotage, manipulating the physical world while convincing the victim that no attack had ever occurred. The sophistication of this impossibility engine, requiring the collaboration of hackers and nuclear scientists, set a benchmark for stealth that continues to challenge defense. Finally, the reliance on vast, collective intelligence exemplified by the Five Eyes Alliance and the sheer scale of the United States digital genesis shows the immense resources required merely to keep up. The defensive posture is one of perpetual motion, demanding that governments constantly pool their resources to collect, analyze, and anticipate the next evolution of the threat. The lessons learned from this relentless cycle are simple, yet profound. The defense of any single system is not a project, it is a process. The security of an organization is not measured by its current protection, but by its rate of adaptation. The silence of the network access broker or the quiet presence of a sanctuary state only confirms that the preparatory work for the next attack is already well underway. The digital world operates on an unstable foundation. The vast, interconnected networks that define modern life are both its greatest strength and its most profound vulnerability. Every piece of code, every line of communication, and every shared piece of data is subject to the constant pressure of infiltration. This ever-evolving shoreline demands continual vigilance. The quiet work of the ethical researcher, the dedicated military unit, and the international intelligence partnership are the only forces holding back the constant, persistent tide of digital chaos. Their work is often unseen, their successes measured by the crises that never happen, the information that remains secure, and the critical systems that remain online. The story of the elite hackers is therefore less about their initial destructive act and more about the enduring, cyclical nature of conflict itself. The battle is never truly won. It is only held in a temporary, fragile equilibrium. As the quiet continues and the world of code remains under the influence of the rising and falling tides of attack and defense, the shoreline holds its form, awaiting the next inevitable wave. The constant, rhythmic nature of this ongoing digital arms race offers a strange, quiet certainty. The unseen architects of the network, whether building or breaking, will be at their post tomorrow, refining their tools in the constant, quiet pursuit of the ultimate digital advantage. The final echoes of these tales of silent warfare and hidden capabilities begin to fade, leaving behind a subtle, pervasive awareness. We turn now from the active stories of the digital frontier to a deeper contemplation of the principles that govern this quiet world, allowing the details of the narratives to soften and the rhythmic flow of the observations to guide us toward rest. Let the mind drift back over the vast, unseen infrastructure that holds our world together. The light moving through the deep-sea cables, the silent hum of the data centers, the complex, fragile architecture of trust built entirely from code. We have witnessed the Lazarus constellation, a group born from isolation, using the sheer volume of global financial transactions as their own personal, state-sponsored bank. They remind us that necessity is the ultimate mother of invention, transforming a simple, desperate need for currency into a sophisticated, multi-billion-dollar criminal enterprise. The whispers of their success prove that in the digital age, economic sanctions can be circumvented and geopolitical objectives can be met, not with ships and planes, but with keystrokes and patient, relentless digital infiltration. Feel the tension of those operations now relaxing, the urgency of the heist softening into the steady knowledge that the systems, for a time, endure. The Desert Sentinel, Iran's digital awakening, reminds us that profound weakness can be a powerful catalyst for strength. The scar of the Stuxnet attack was transformed into a deep, unwavering resolve to master the very tools that had harmed them. Their story is one of rapid adaptation, where the trauma of an invisible attack led to the creation of a powerful, retaliatory force capable of striking critical infrastructure across the globe. This quiet determination, born from a desire never to be caught vulnerable again, is a slow, enduring force in the digital landscape. Now, imagine the deep, cold ocean, the water pressing down on the fiber optic lines that carry every secret, every thought, every financial transaction. The deep-sea watchers, the GCHQ, sit at the geographic choke points of the world's communication. Their presence at the cable landing points ensures that a massive, invisible river of data is constantly observed. The Tempora project, operating with a vast, silent appetite, reminds us that the ability to listen is often the highest form of power. The metadata, the origin and destination of the flow, charts the relationships and intentions of the world, even when the content is hidden behind complex encryption. This quiet, continuous act of observation is the ultimate form of situational awareness, ensuring that the shadows never move completely unseen. The mind should feel the rhythm of this continuous observation, the steady, silent flow of the data, and the constant, unflappable presence of the listener. We turn to the discipline and intellect of the conscript's code, Israel's unit 8200. Their power is not derived from a simple mandate, but from the highly efficient, systematic selection of the top 1% of cognitive talent. This continuous intellectual pipeline ensures a constant supply of brilliant minds trained for digital engagement. The story of Avishai Abrahami hijacking the processing power of his adversaries to decrypt his target is a lesson in elegant resourcefulness. It illustrates that in cyber conflict, the most successful strategy is often the one that uses the enemy's own assets against them, demonstrating a profound capacity for non-linear, creative problem-solving under extreme pressure. Now, the focus shifts to the relentless, industrial scale of the dragon's intellectual hunger. This is a campaign defined by patience and scale, targeting the very DNA of global innovation. The theft is not random. It is systematic, aimed at acquiring the blueprints for the future, the engines, the flight controls, the core technology that underpins economic dominance. The Comac C919 becomes a quiet, soaring symbol of this ambition, a physical machine constructed from a mountain of stolen digital secrets. It is a reminder that the most valuable treasure in the modern era is the unique idea, the protected algorithm, and the schematic that allows a nation to bypass years of expensive, laborious research. This hunger finds its twin in the great citizen heist, the vast, quiet operation dedicated to accumulating the personal histories of millions. The breaches of Equifax, OPM, and Marriott are not just isolated security failures. They are successful data collection campaigns, assembling a comprehensive, detailed profile of an adversary population. The voluntary data contribution via applications like TikTok adds a layer of quiet, unsettling efficiency to this process, proving that sometimes the most effective intelligence is the data that is freely and continuously surrendered. The goal is clear: to catalog vulnerability, to map relationships, and to amass a strategic archive of personal history that can be leveraged for future geopolitical influence. Feel the slow, deliberate speed of these historical campaigns, the patient reconnaissance, the systematic collection, the non-urgent, steady flow of data across the years. The piece is interrupted by the memory of digital destruction, the digital winter wrought by the NotPetya cascade. This event stands as a somber monument to the capability of digital warfare to inflict massive, indiscriminate physical and economic damage. The targeting of trusted national infrastructure, the tax software MEDOC, turned a simple utility into a weapon of mass destruction, crippling banks, hospitals, and global shipping companies. NotPetya was the line crossed. The moment the world understood that a military cyber weapon could achieve the effect of war, yet escape physical attribution and retaliation. This destructive capability was immediately followed by the precise surgical strike of the uninvited guest at the 2018 Winter Olympics. The logic bomb, detonated at the moment of highest anticipation, was a masterpiece of political chaos. Its purpose was to humiliate and disrupt, demonstrating that no global event, no matter how carefully guarded, is immune to silent, unseen infiltration. The ability to cause widespread confusion and paralysis with a single line of code underscores the immense strategic value of digital disruption, turning a moment of unity into a showcase of vulnerability. Now, allow the rhythm of the narrative to draw the mind toward the apex of capability. The digital genesis, the history of the USA's Cyber Foundation, is a story of unmatched resources and generational advantage. Born from the earliest network, its power is not centralized, but distributed across a complex array of specialized cyber commands, each capable of offensive and defensive operations across the globe. This vast, coordinated network ensures universal reach and constant engagement across all theaters of conflict. This power was demonstrated in Glowing Symphony, the relentless operation to dismantle the digital caliphate. This was a war of attrition, fought with data deletion and system disruption, proving that persistent digital pressure can achieve strategic victory by silencing the enemy's most vital communication lines. The deliberate, methodical erasure of data and, crucially, the systematic targeting of backups ensured that the enemy's presence could not be restored, turning the digital space into a constant, untenable battleground. The ultimate display of technical mastery was the creation of the impossibility engine, Stuxnet. This operation required the unique, unprecedented collaboration of the hacker and the nuclear scientist. The success was rooted in the exquisite design of the weapon, malware that inflicted physical destruction while simultaneously feeding the operators false, calming data. Stuxnet proved that the true enemy in cyber conflict is not the firewall, but the operator's perception. The ability to manipulate reality and induce a systemic failure that appears to be a simple malfunction remains the highest form of digital sabotage. The stories intertwine into the broader architecture of cooperation. The Five Eyes, a long-standing intelligence alliance, reinforces the idea that shared capabilities are essential for survival. By pooling the geographical advantages of the United Kingdom, the technical processing power of the United States, and the regional knowledge of the other partners, the alliance maintains an overwhelming collective clarity of vision into the global stream of intelligence, ensuring few secrets remain entirely hidden. Now we observe the commercial engine of the shadows. The weaponization of trust by the network access broker shows the maturity of the criminal ecosystem. The NAB's quiet, patient work to find initial entry points and sell that access on the dark forums creates a highly efficient, scalable business model for ransomware. They are the essential link, the one who transforms a single vulnerability into a valuable, marketable commodity, fueling the perpetual, destructive flow of criminal encryption. And finally, we acknowledge the quiet, frustrating obstacle of the immunity paradox. The physical border of a non-cooperative state provides a sanctuary, transforming global criminals into untouchable digital architects. This paradox limits the power of indictments and sanctions, ensuring that the most sophisticated criminal groups can continue their operations secure behind the wall of sovereignty, challenging the very possibility of global digital justice. The ultimate lesson of this journey across the digital frontier is that the shoreline is ever evolving. The conflict is continuous. The moment of rest is only the moment of preparation for the next cycle of attack and defense. Every defense is temporary, every victory is fleeting, and the required rate of vigilance must be perpetual. The only certainty is the constant pressure of digital evolution, ensuring that the complex, fragile architecture of our connected world is continuously being challenged, tested, and rebuilt. Let this final, quiet realization settle into the mind that the unseen, silent work of the builders and the breakers continues without end. The security of the network relies not on a single victory, but on the enduring, tireless commitment to adapt, to listen, and to learn from the ghosts in the machine. Allow the steady rhythm of these principles to wash over you, smoothing the edges of the day and preparing the mind for deep rest. The digital world is vast, the threats are real, and the stories continue to unfold in the quiet. But for now, the screen goes dark, the flow of data slows, and the vigilant mind may finally rest. If you found peace in these tales of the quiet architects and the eternal digital shoreline, we invite you to support the continuation of this peaceful, informative journey. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and share this journey with those who also seek a calm, contemplative passage to sleep. Your support ensures the quiet work continues. Good night.